Askreddit, what's the best job for a lazy person? A guy on the surveying crew has the job of watching a surveying GPS unit all day. He gets dropped off with the unit, sets it up and sits there and makes sure it doesn't get stolen and that the blow light is still on. That's all he does every day, day after day. He thinks his job is the greatest thing ever. You can also work your ass off surveying though. I used to do it. Back in college, I was a computer lab monitor. I just had to sit in the lab and once every hour count the number of people there. If I was opening or closing the lab, there was about 15 minutes of work for that, but otherwise I could just surf the web or do my homework. The person that sit on a chair in the museum. They just sit there in one of the most quiet places I visit. And when a person stands too close to one in artwork, they just cough a little and tell you to step back. Can confirm. I work it for a couple car dealerships and it was literally just me checking out Reddit waiting for work to come in. I maybe had an issue once or twice a week that took me no more than an hour to figure in most cases. The only reason it's work now is because they decide to open up more dealerships that I have to manage and everything needs to be set up. There are a lot of things to do now. Sigh. Was good while it lasted. Lol. I am currently in my head office at a car dealership browsing Reddit waiting for something to stop working. I've considered randomly disconnecting phones and PCs just to have something to do. I'm a backstage doorman at a Broadway theater. I sit around watching Netflix and Hulu and all that shit all day. If I'm feeling ambitious I'll read a book or write some stand-up material. It's a pretty sweet gig and perfect for the laziest of people. Damn. I wanted to work as an actor on Broadway but the superior job has just been sitting there the whole time. Find a remote data entry job and outsource it to someone who will do it for cheaper. Let them do your job and just collect the difference. I used to go to the factory where they make giant rotating machinery for power plant generators. It would take a week or more to machine these giant discs and the machinist just sat there watching this giant, computer-operated machine do all the work. If an error popped up, the machine would stop, sound an alarm on the computer, and the machinist would pick up the phone and call an engineer to come fix it. Also they didn't do any of the removal or setup. That was done by a team of engineers and transport folks $30 an hour. Copy editor. You can pretty much work out of your own home and be a professional grammar Nazi. Pay is meh but it's really not bad once you build up a client base since you can literally sit on your ass for hours if your grasp on the language is strong. I used to be a copy editor at a newspaper. Great gig. Worked 4 PM to midnight, so never had to set an alarm. Never had to take my work home or deal with emails or phone calls at home. Steady predictable hours, except in the very rare event of an emergency. Almost no meetings, no need to network or schmooze with leadership or go to any company events, no complicated long-term projects, no need to work in teams or collaborate. Just sat there listening to music, drinking coffee, reading interesting articles and fixing stuff if I felt like it. Those were the days. Guard at the Olympics. You need to be pretty unlazy in the first place to get that job, though. That's a catch-22. My job. I'm basically ignored by everyone and wasting all my day on Reddit. I'm starting to wonder how long it will last. Where do you work and how much do you get paid? I'm working for a plumbing contractor as the project manager, but 95% of stuff is managed on site so they don't need me most of the time. I have this huge 12 feet x 14 feet office with multiple monitors and nobody can see or want to know what I do so I wait for the phone calls and place some orders here and there and Reddit all day. The salary is $65k per year. Cat. Alert orders for military. Just chill in a bunker all weekend and play video games and eat and work out. Then get a 5-day weekend. Get paid regardless because salary pay. As someone not familiar with the military and its satellite jobs, can you expand on this? In combat arms, infantry, artillery, armor, etc., a significant portion of a soldier's time is spent on standby, waiting for something to happen. This could range from waiting in an airfield for 2 days for your unit's flight to waiting for a couple of hours for the enemy to enter your ambush site. Entire units will spend their whole deployment in reserve in regions that could become hostile at a moment's notice, but have nothing to do until it does. Essentially, the soldier's job is to be ready for a fight much more than it is to actually do the fighting. Here's a ton of downtime in the military. Not sure if it qualifies, but I used to oversee gas pressure on an outlet on an oil rig. I'd just sit there for 12 each day for up to 4 weeks at a time. Nothing ever happened, and if it did there wouldn't be much time to act accordingly. I'd just be the first to know that we would all die very soon. Why hello there, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more weekly videos. See you next time.